Greetings, Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This is your Western forecast for November 2024. I always start with the new moon. There's a new moon every 4 weeks. This new moon is in Scorpio on November the 1st. And so where's our attention and priorities are being drawn to. It's describing some of the most important themes and issues of the month. For you, this Scorpio new moon on November the 1st Scorpio is 10 signs past Aquarius. So the new moon, that new focus of energies, is in your career sector. The 10th house can be your professional standing, leadership, even fame, taking charge. This new moon for everybody is going to be one of the more solid ones after a lot of upheavals in recent months with the new moon, because there was a lot of Uranus, unpredictable. In fact, the full moon 2 weeks later is going to be conjuncting Uranus. So there's still all this emotional upsets and breakthroughs and excitement. But back to the new moon on November the 1st. It's in your 10th house of careers. Scorpio is very consuming. There's a lot of emotional depth and passion, but it's in harmony with Saturn, pragmatic, conventional Saturn. Saturn will give you the discipline and the structure to achieve your career goals. So that's very favorable for you. And then the full moon, 2 weeks later, November the 15th, is in the opposite, the 10th house of careers. It's in the 4th house, could be home, family, real estate, but conjuncting Uranus. There could still be some personal surprises, as well as you're still disciplined and focused on business security. Now, Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars, is going to be for the next couple of months transiting your 7th house of relationships and partnerships and contracts. Jupiter is in Gemini now from this summer to next summer in the northern latitudes, bringing a lot of growth and opportunity to 5th house matters, which is creative and romantic and investing. There's a lot of positive things to talk about. But before I do, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or to sign up for my 2-question offer. All right, so the central theme is advancing in career, or not all of you will have a career, putting a major emphasis on your life purpose, and maybe becoming more visible, more of a leadership position in the world, whether it's job, business, or not. But I want to go to Mercury. Mercury is the messenger god in mythology. Mercury describes what's on our mind, what are we thinking about, what are we curious. Mercury goes into Sagittarius, a fire sign, compatible with Aquarius, an air sign. Mercury goes into Sag November the 2nd. Now it's going to remain in Sagittarius, in your 11th house of networking, friendships, socializing. But the main thing is really looking towards your long-range plans and goals. But the Mercury is going to be there in Sag until January the 8th. That's because Mercury is going retrograde, and it's going to remain in Sag. It's going to retrograde November the 25th through December the 15th. Then it has more clarity and focus, moves forwards with 11th house matters until January the 8th. First of all, just having your mind in being influenced by Sagittarius, Mercury in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is very adventurous, it's honest, it's impulsive, it's very fiery because it's a fire sign. And in the 11th, that could be a lot of networking, a lot of socializing with friends, getting involved with any type of group activity or teamwork. But the main thing is the Mercury is your plans. And the 11th has a lot to do with like your 5-year plans, your long distance, your long range plans. Now, the Sun is in Scorpio in your 10th house, bringing where you really focus on career and leadership, etc., until November the 21st. It then goes into Sagittarius in your 11th. The new moon in Scorpio will keep that main theme of leadership and career matters, launching new projects, starting new businesses. It's strong all of November. It's just that the last week of November, November 21st, now the Sun moves into Sagittarius, joining Mercury in Sagittarius. So now you're looking more, you're still focused on, so it's major career business development, right? New moon in the 10th of career. But the Sun goes into Sagittarius, and Sagittarius and the 11th house is very futuristic. So you're going to be really focused on all these exciting new future possibilities, not how to pay the rent or the mortgage next month, but really setting up, these plans for the next 5 to 10 years. That can involve a partner, contracts, negotiations, because Mars is a 2-year cycle. Mars is the warrior planet. Mars is initiative, courageous, risk-taking, fiery. And Mars will be in fiery Leo, dynamic Leo, lots of passion for everybody. Mars goes into Leo November the 3rd. December the 6th, still in Leo, it retrogrades until February the 23rd. And then it goes direct, and then it retrograded out of Leo back into Cancer in your 6th house of work projects. And then as we get more into April, then it's back into the 7th house of partnerships and contract negotiations. This is a very rare event. Mars may not retrograde in Leo, but every 20-some years. There's a lot of this fiery passion. Let's break it down. Mars in the 7th, it's certainly going direct, so it's more forceful, more motivated, more clarity. November. In Mars in Leo is opposite Aquarius, opposites the significant other. On one hand, let's talk about marriage, close relationships. Mars is very physical and sexual energy, but Mars can get very impatient, irritable, and argumentative. But what I mention every month, depending on the sign, when Mars is impacting your 7th house of close relationships, Mars by itself does not break up a relationship. What Mars can do is release a lot of resentment or pent-up anger. The Mars in the 7th, to me, can clear the decks, clear the air, start again. So whatever has just been rumbling below the surface with irritability, the Mars can have a blowout and release it and start fresh again. And Jupiter, talking about, blowing up if there's any resentments, to get back on track, because then the Mars is back to the passion and intimacy and sexuality of the 7th house. But expansive Jupiter, which I talk about every month, went into Gemini the last couple of days of May into June of 2025. Gemini is 5 signs past Aquarius. The 5th sector is romance and children and vacations and partings and sports. Jupiter brings all this expansive abundance and opportunity. So the Jupiter in the 5th house and Mars in the 7th could definitely bringing up some real social romantic energies. And when the Sun goes into Sag the last week of November through the first 3 weeks of December, it's in the 11th house of friendships, socializing, networking. And Venus, the planet of love and socializing and peace, will be in Capricorn once a year, November the 11th to December the 6th. But in December the 6th, for the rest of the month, the Venus will then go into Aquarius. And with Mars in the 7th of relationships and Jupiter in the 5th house of romance and children, that Venus in December could be triggering a relationship. But Mercury's in retrograde until the 15th of December. Mars goes retrograde on the 6th. So 2 things. I'm saying all this love. We'll get to business back in a minute. But back to love and relationships. With the retrogrades, 2 things comes to mind in general. Either it reawakens an old relationship that that comes back and is trying again. And that's the retrogrades, trying again. Or it is not an old relationship, but a new relationship. But if a new relationship starts with the retrogrades, it's not necessarily the kiss of death, but it's going to start really hot and then be very unstable, anxious energies. So it could be very passionate, with lots of fighting and loving if you meet somebody new, especially in the middle part of December. Back to business. The 7th Mars, all that aggression and ambition, in the 7th is setting up a business partner or negotiating contracts. And that Mars can be really forceful with those areas. Then the Mercury and the Sun in Sag in the 11th, you're looking for the long range picture, the new moon in the 10th, all on career. But Venus, when it's in Capricorn, November the 11th to December the 6th, it's in the 12th house. The 12th house is more low-key, not wanting to, if you're socializing, keeping it very small, like just going out to dinner with a friend or two, as opposed to going to some big party with 100 people. So you're playing it a more quiet, more low-key, more shy. But that could also be because there's so much work activity that you don't have time or you don't have the energy to be keeping up with all the socializing because you have all this other work to accomplish. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.